Hi guys, so I've jumped on. I'm going to do a video in a little bit of a different style than normal. Tell me if you like this style of video or not. But what a day! I mean, I've just jumped in a few of the Facebook groups for the first time in a long time, and to be honest, it reminded me why I try to avoid them. But people are wild at the moment. It's all over the place. There's scams popping up. It reminded me of 2017, and I honestly haven't felt that yet this cycle. If anything, I've been telling you guys that I just haven't noticed retail coming in or any of that type of thing. So what does that mean? Well, we know that there's new money entering the space when retail are throwing all these money at scams. We know all the other, the general stuff that there's more on ramps than ever, all that type of thing. That infrastructure's all there. But the concern now is, well, can that money find its way to Bitcoin and to the higher quality projects, the large caps? Because some of you will remember BitConnect was in the top 10. BitConnect was the banner on CoinMarketCap, which everyone had as their homepage. And that took a lot of money. That took billions of dollars. And there's a few things with scams. Now, some people say, oh, yeah, get in early, make a bit of money, and get out. But I know, look, that probably doesn't harm you. I still think maybe I'd recommend against that, if only because I've seen the side effects and the repercussions of everything from people that have been, fined and even in jail, some of the leaders that recruit thousands of people into these scams, but also people that, took their lives and things like that, that lost everything. Mum and dad investors, they Google search, they Facebook search, and you might be just throwing $100 at it, but what that does is create the network effects. Some of these ones that are going on at the moment have sprung up overnight, and all of a sudden they've got a million users. Without that money and that growth, they don't get the mum and dad investor that comes along and puts in 100 grand, and then they lose it and they lose everything. And like I said, it's crazy to hear, but I work with regulators, Blockchain Australia. I was on the board for 2 years, and I see some ugly side of things that happen in the background. So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect is a lot of people don't get out in time, and 99% of people actually lose. And so you might hear the survivor bias. The few people that make money, they make noise on social media. And often they're trying to, recruit people if it's an affiliate link thing and all that type of behavior as well. But finally, it's money that should be going into other crypto. Now, if that money came into crypto, it would grow the crypto market cap. It gets more excitement. It gets more people interested in crypto, in a good way. But instead, we've now got a million people that are about to get rug pulled and that walk away going, oh, crypto's, crap. And then they tell all their friends. And so it's actually the opposite effect. It's an exponential compounding effect that can be a good thing, but is now a bad thing. And that kind of puts crypto in general and adoption just back that little bit further. So I guess they're the main reasons why I just don't like these get rich quick scams or whatever. They never work. Like 100% of the time, they fail. But okay, let's talk about broadly what's happening. I'm of the opinion that the big money, the whales, they're all about to rotate. They're going to take profits out of a lot of these alts that have run hard, particularly these really small, Uniswap or Pancake Swap. There's not enough liquidity there to support the market caps. So as soon as people try to realize profit, price is going to crash 90% on some of those little tiny micro cap coins. Now, where this is different in the past is this was often when Bitcoin would just take off like a rocket and all the alts would have that liquidity sucked out of them. And you've heard me say things like the Bitcoin sponge, as Bitcoin soaks up all the liquidity. But this time it is different in that back then it was Poloniex, Bittrex, Bitfinex. Some of you might not have even used any of those that I've just named. They were the top 3 altcoin exchanges. This is before Binance existed. And they were all trading against Bitcoin pairs because Tether wasn't even that big or that liquid then either. So things have changed so much. So what are the side effects of that now? stablecoins have grown their market cap because there's so many stablecoin pairs. Binance have literally got Tether, USDC, uh, BUSD, and then you've got Gemini with their GUS dollar. Then you've got all the DeFi applications that DAI pairs. So there's all these stablecoins, and just the fact that you've got a pair on an order book or a DEX in a protocol, um, that adds to market cap and liquidity and demand. But a lot of these are paired with ETH. Think about the DeFi ecosystem and all those Uniswap pairs, all these pools. Every single token has pretty much got an ETH pair or pool. And so in that manner, ETH is like the reserve currency of this cycle more so than Bitcoin. Bitcoin has lost market share. Like overall, it's probably, you know, I'd say probably still the same in terms of the actual number, the nominal amount, but everything else has just grown so much more. Stablecoin pairs, ETH pairs, and so if everyone runs for the exits, there can be a huge demand for ETH because everyone is trying to exit the micro cap DeFi ecosystem. Now on Binance Smart Chain with PancakeSwap, that might be a run to the exits that's great for BNB, and BNB is near record highs. So I'm just talking you through what I'm thinking about and what may play out. Is all that money going to run to Bitcoin? I'm not sure. And when people want safety, I still think, yeah, it plays its role. But for me, it's still about institutional capital that's going to move that market the most. Now it's over $1 trillion market cap. What we saw today was Morgan Stanley reveal their holdings. So it's tax time in the US. All the big companies have got to, show what their holdings are publicly, and that's going to really tell us who was buying what in Q1 when we had all that institutional demand. So Morgan Stanley hodling Bitcoin. We're going to find out if 50%, 70%, maybe it's only 10%. Either way, it's going to be a headline news. And it's going to get people excited, I think, whatever the number is. Then we find out how many companies are holding Bitcoin or crypto on their balance sheet. I've just done a lengthy video for members, so I won't go into too much detail about a few other things I'm watching, which coin I think is about to pump in particular and why. But what I will say is Jake Shavinsky mentioned he thinks 3 Bitcoin ETFs could get approved as soon as this year. So there's a lot of big ticket items lining up. If you watch that interview that I did with Tyrone, that was just amazing to think about and talk about that wall of money that's coming from Wall Street. We haven't even scratched the surface yet. So when you combine all that with what I saw today, the retail madness, we're in the midst of some sort of, alt season mania. They're all going to learn their lessons and learn the hard way, but it really is clear to me that that sentiment is there. It's euphoria. It's mania. Money is entering the space. Institutional capital, I hope, continues to flow in. I think it will, but that really puts some of those astronomical price targets like $300,000 Bitcoin within reach. It doesn't have to continue for that much longer. If we get these ETFs, if that Wall Street adoption continues, if retail kind of learn their lesson and end up dollar cost averaging into some Bitcoin rather than chasing some of these other coins, all that is just the recipe for these far higher prices. It's not hugely speculative to pull out these numbers anymore, which is also very exciting. So hey, there's a few off the cuff thoughts. I'm very lucky these days that I get to spend so much time thinking about the space and just going over all the research that my team produces, that a lot of you guys read every day. You get to literally join the morning research calls of my team and the guys in the US. It's 24/7 now, the content on Collective Shift. So I just love it. More updates to come. Plenty of stuff is free, guys. All the beginner stuff is free. If you're fairly new to crypto, head over to the Knowledge Center and check it out. But that's it for today, guys. Members, I'll talk to you again soon. And YouTubers, I will have another video up at some stage this week, but it's just so busy I haven't been able to commit to the old, 5 a week that I used to do. But the market update will return. I've just had some very busy weekends lately, so I'll see you around. Cheers.